can't get no sleep. Oh, his country, man. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. But like all wonderful countries, all the best countries, which for me are either in Latin America where I am now or Southeast Asia where I used to live, are so noisy. So noisy. And you get areas like this that aren't, but you can't sleep here. Too many mosquitoes. I would if it wasn't for mosquitoes. And when you're in lack and scarcity, when you haven't managed to bring abundance into your life and you're starting to accept you probably never will, you can only afford cheap places to stay. And I've got a really beautiful place to stay, really big windows, lots of bright light, staying with a really nice family. But there's other rooms very close by, like there's 3 little apartments in a row basically. And my apartment has a door into the next apartment, which, you know, if a family was to rent it all, could be opened up and utilised. So all the noise just comes through. Anyway, last night, everything was pretty good. It was pretty quiet. And I fell asleep about 10 o'clock and I went into a deep sleep. I mean, I think I'm a very light sleeper, but I went into a deep sleep and I was having the most incredible dream, and I won't bore you with the details, but the conclusion of the dream, the experience of the dream was literally just about to be revealed. It was something that I had to do that was going to show me this experience. And just as I was about to receive that experience, one of the other roommates, I'll call them, decided that she would say goodbye to her boyfriend right outside my flat, you know, not inside her flat, no awareness. This is at 2 in the morning. So suddenly I'm woken up by their conversation and I have to fucking listen to their conversation. And then I go into like, how long is this gonna last? And the anger of it all, which obviously just riles me up. Anyway, it only lasted about 2 minutes. And she said goodbye to him and then she switched off a light outside, which I was impressed with, showed some awareness. But anyway, that was me done. And then, as in, that was me like, and then the fucking electricity meter outside the room started beeping non-stop. Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm out of flow and trust and in scarcity, lack and desire to end oneself, not really, but you know, those thoughts do come up at the moment. I still believe everything is a sign, and you know, I just feel like I'm being told that as amazing as this place is, and like, yeah, I've got my gym membership, and this feels like a lot of synchronicity and alignment in movement at the moment. So really dedicated to the gym. I've found a masseuse. I mean, masseuses in Latin America aren't particularly cheap, but I have found one that's doable and really good. So I'm getting massages every day, which is it is an act of self-love, but actually it's more, you know, needed. My body really needs it. So I'm really happy to be making the most of that. But at the same time, I've been offered a place to stay in a forest, in total nature, in total silence, and I'm just feeling more and more called to that every day. So really, if it wasn't for my gym membership that I've committed to and was pretty expensive, I think I'd just be going there now. But anyway, I have another 3 weeks of gym membership, so I feel like now is the time for movement and massage, and then there's going to be a time where I go to a forest and just be still, which will be very challenging. I hate being still. I like doing, but I can just feel it's what's needed, and I'm willing to sacrifice, you know, I'm willing to be bored, I'm willing to sacrifice any sort of doing for silence. Like, I just need silence. I need it so bad, so bad. Oh, and then there's the builders outside. Oh, I forgot the fucking builders. So yeah, it's like everything, you know, when I first rented this apartment, it was really quiet. And then the noise started creeping in. A couple of noisy guests moved in. The family had a few nights where they had friends and family over, which were really noisy, and then suddenly this building site started. So yeah, 8 in the morning this morning I was awoken by a generator. That's such a horrible noise. So there's an acceptance and a surrender in it, just like, you know, I can't control this, you know, I just have to surrender to it. But it's yeah, it's really frustrating how all the best countries are really noisy. And you know, the two go hand in hand, because the people are alive, the people are free, and there's lots of tourists that come here because these places are amazing. So, you know, you can't really have one without the other, it seems. You're either in a really sleepy, narrow bandwidth, grey, repressed country like England, where it is quiet. I know that's becoming less and less the case. The last video I filmed in Sheffield, I think it was the last one, had one of the wonderful people that built our country and is now, you know, the next generations are now coming back to show us all how racist we are, and to teach us and bring all this wonderful diversity to our country. But yeah, he was in Sheffield city centre with a boombox. So, you know, it is ending. But out in the suburbs where I lived, other than the neighbour's fucking rat dog that they couldn't control at all, I didn't have any relationship with, you know, it was just silent all the time, unless I went downstairs and then I could hear my parents watching the news. There's always something. But yeah, I'm so ready, I'm just so ready for peace and silence. I'm really calling that in, and actually it's more I'm being called to it, you know, as I surrender and allow more, you know, the universe opens up these opportunities to go further into that. And you know, it sounds very blissful. I appreciate if you have a 9-to-5 lifestyle, you'll be like, God, this guy's so lucky. And yeah, that is true in one regard, but also it's harrowing, like, because you're meeting deeper parts of yourself each time, the parts that you've repressed, the parts that you've suppressed, the parts that you've run away from. So I feel like this next space that I'm going to in the forest is going to be yeah, a very healing space where I meet new parts of myself and go further into the void. I think I am going to smoke some weed when I get there. I think, you know, just keep sober for the next few weeks, really commit to my training and this sobriety journey. But my God, I miss it. I really miss it. And I know it's not going to help me. But life's hard, man. Like, it's hard to just stay present and sober all the time and be in it all the time. Like, I just want to get stoned and wank. And like go into that little like stoned cocoon, even though I'll have a sinking feeling and anxiety and all that stuff. I mean, maybe when I smoke it, I mean, by the time I get there, it's going to be, I don't know, the best part of 10 weeks sober, I think. Maybe 3 months. Time's very hard for me to keep track of. I don't really try. Days don't mean anything to me, especially since I totally detached from football. Yeah, when I came out here, I cancelled my iFollow membership to Sheffield Wednesday, so I've always watched the games online. I detached from football in general quite a while ago, but I've kept following Sheffield Wednesday. But they basically have a Keir Starmer running them, you know, somebody who's intentionally trying to destroy them, so it's no fun at all. So I cancelled that. And that was the last thing that really allowed me to keep track of days, or meant that I had to keep track of days, you know, when's Saturday? Do we have a Tuesday night fixture? So now that's not in my life. There's literally just no need to track days or time or anything, really. So it's hard to say, but yeah, it'll be the best part of 3 months sober. So yeah, so what I was going to say is maybe when I smoke it, it will just bring up what people call paranoia. It's actually, you know, feeling all the repressed stuff. You know, that's why it's a medicine. But you know, I have used it as a medicine, but also I've just used it really as total avoidance and hatred of self. And I've never managed to control it. So, you know, I'm sure I'll just slip straight back into the like waking up in the morning and having a joint. But I think I'm dedicated enough to content creation to at least create some videos before I get stoned now. Which is all I need to do. You know, these expectations we put on ourselves, these needs, like, does any of it matter? Does it matter if I'm stoned? Sure, I create better videos if I'm not stoned. So if I get up in the morning and create videos, which is the routine I'm in now, and then get stoned, does it really matter? I don't know. I don't know anything. Big love. Yeah, it seems negative videos are the way forward, but I'm going to do a different video on that now. But yeah, the last 2 videos have done well. A lot of you commented, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for helping me. I think on the second day that I released 3 videos, I earned almost $20, which is the most I've ever earned on this channel. So, you know, if I can make that £20 a day, then I can just about survive. I mean, not including flights and visas and stuff, but in terms of my day-to-day, I can just about survive. That's not true, because life always ends up being more expensive than you plan for when you're an expat, and probably when you're not an expat, definitely, you know, just in general. Especially with the cost of living crisis, you know, not being manufactured at all. It's just a crisis that's just happened. Oh my God, how did this happen? Sending you all so much love wherever you are. Like, I know life is so hard, and I appreciate it. It can be triggering to see somebody sat in a tropical paradise moaning about life, but you know, it's still hard for me. It's just hard in different ways. Big love.